Mic check, 1 2 1 2. This is not financial advice. I tell you about your oven mitts, baby, because it's about to get hot in the kitchen now. Don't invest in companies you don't understand and don't believe in, because if they dip, then you're not going to buy the dip. And then you're going to sell low and be right back here fronting me. And I'm not having that. So if you can't do the heat of these hot stocks and stay out of the kitchen and consider investing in index funds, family, I got a banger for you today. It is ticker symbol ANET. But hold up. Before you go off and run and buy this stock, I want to show you what's going on with it, what they are, because stocks are more than the stock price and the ticker symbol. This is a $174 stock. It's up 40% in the last month. Many people are saying that it could go even further. Many people being the institutions on Wall Street. But I always tell you, proper preparation prevents poor performance. Say it with me again. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. So we got to look into this stock and trade with the chart and not with our heart. If we get in at any price, then we're gonna get smoked by the people who get in at the best price. So let's try to be those people who get in at those good prices so we can build wealth. This one I consider a short-term trade that can be a long-term investment as things play out. Now currently, ANET is currently $174 a share. In the last year, it's up 95%. But we got to think about the growth of the company. I showed you this in the past, but I encourage you to screenshot it. And it's called the PEG ratio. This little chart right here is going to show us if a company is in a good range, a decent range, or not a great range. If the PEG is between 0.5 and 0.99, that's in a great range. If it's between 1 and 2, then it's a good price. But if it's over 2, then it's not great of a price. So take a screenshot of that so you can remember. This is how we look at a company's price and the things that they earn compared to the growth. For my people who are new, just use the numbers when you Google the PEG ratio of a company, and boom, just like that, you are way better at seeing if a company is able to be held long-term by you or if it's just a short-term trade. So you know if you got a great price. And let's jump straight to the point. What is the PEG ratio on ANET? Right here on the bottom of this graphic, we can see it's a range between about 1.8 and about 2.6. So this means it's close to a good price, but potentially not great. So this is where that trade with the chart, not with your heart, comes in. The current valuation of this company is a $217 billion company, meaning there's a lot of room to grow in the space that it's in. So I keep saying company, company, company. Whenever you're thinking about a stock, you really have to consider deeply the company that's behind it. And this company is an AI play, artificial intelligence through and through. AI, the way that we exist and live with it today, cannot exist and expand without this company. So if you ever use ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Grok, or any other AI model, what you're gonna find out is you're sending information to a data center. The data centers are a bunch of computer clusters that are talking to computer chips, and they need to be able to talk very fast because there's millions, if not a billion of us using AI at the same time. So you know what this company does? They're the connection between those computer chips and the data centers. So what they do is they sell these really high speed Ethernet cords. I highlighted it in blue just for you. You can see the wires connecting them to each other. Their Ethernet cords are not like the ones you might have in your house connecting your computer to the internet. These ones are specifically made to help artificial intelligence be trained and get faster. So why might this be important for artificial intelligence? All of the companies that you might be using artificial intelligence with and not even know it, I'm talking about Amazon, I'm talking about Meta, I'm talking about Nvidia, I'm talking about Apple, any of them, they're actually customers to this company because they need their artificial intelligence to be able to be trained fast, and they can't have that bottleneck of the wires connecting them being too slow. Let's look at some of the key metrics. These are some of the customers listed for ANET. Meta is number one. They need it because they're using the wires for ANET for all of their data centers. And they're calling Meta one of its anchor customers or primary customers that's helping them get all of this cash to build out. Next big customer is Microsoft, who's trying to grow their artificial intelligence, and they're another anchor customer. Then they got 2 more big customers. One of them is Google. They've been partnering with this network provider for a long time. However, Google is willing to use some things from Nvidia as well. So they're not as deeply using ANET as a Meta or a Microsoft. And then Amazon is using it somewhat, but they're resistant to adopting all of the systems involved with ANET. So they have what's called selective implementation in their data centers. Now, why is this important? They already have two major customers locked down in Meta and Microsoft. Now, if we see Google and Amazon get deeper in, this could 2x their revenue in a very short amount of time. But I always tell you, just because you're hearing the story, that doesn't mean that this is a great buy at these current prices. So we got to trade with the chart and not with our heart. Let's look at this technically, because we know that ANET has the story of being the bottleneck that keeps artificial intelligence either training very fast.
Take your money to the next level with high yield.
Like the story, but we got to understand the charts and we got to understand the fundamentals of the company. And for those of you who are sick and tired of not understanding the market, who are sick and tired of not knowing what to do, who are sick and tired of not getting great buy alerts, then come on and join KGU. I want to show you one of my students, and she just made over $798 in a single day from learning how to trade. We sent a buy alert on Reddit, and you'll be able to trade with me live 9:15 a.m. Eastern time, where we send buy alerts extremely simply. For example, I told you I bought some Reddit shares at 167 just yesterday. So if you want to reduce the confusion and actually learn how to make money on this stock market by trading live with me and watching my screens and taking 3 different courses that you can take at your own speed, the stock class, the chart class, and the options class for absolute beginners, then the link is going to be in the top of the description. And I want to even give a shout out to John, who sent a comment saying KG could explain the game to an actual rock and it would make money. I want to give you a salute, John. The links are in the top of the description. Now let's get to the charts on ANET Networks. We use the charts because they're the best tool at showing us what did happen as a tool for what could happen. In the past, we see one of the best buy zones on ANET was about 114. But now that we're all the way up here at 174, we ask ourselves, what are the likelihood that we're gonna see that 114 again to be able to get in at that great price? This is when we have to use the support levels. These orange lines in this image are showing us the best buy zone is about 114. The second best is 160. But then there's a third zone where we're looking for what's called a breakout, and this is the 179. So we're gonna pull out our Fibonacci retracement tools to give us an indication of how to know when it's headed towards 114 or how to know if it's breaking out. So if you see the price come under $146, this orange line right here, on a 4-hour time frame or a daily time frame on the candles, then what you're gonna see is this thing try to approach 114, a great buy zone. However, if we break over 178 and close a candle body over that level, then we're gonna head towards the first stop, which will be about 195, and then the second stop, which will be about 217. Now, what makes ANET a little bit different from a lot of these other companies is that this isn't just a hype stock. This is a stock that's growing because it's one of the bottleneck players in the artificial intelligence wave. This artificial intelligence and data center network that we're all seeing build out in the world couldn't work without a company like ANET providing the cords that can connect the neural networks. So this is why they're seeing their revenue almost go up 1/3 in a single year. Currently per quarter, they're making about $2.1 billion, but it's gonna head up to about $2.7 billion. And they keep making more than they expect again and again because those extra companies are starting to implement them more and more. Now let's look at the balance sheet, which is quite easy. Even though I know some people are intimidated, you can look at it like this. All the way on the right, if a company has a 30% ratio, then they're in good standing, meaning their assets compared to their debt or liabilities is giving us a 30%. Even under 50% is generally good in the stock market. If the asset bar is much larger than the debt bar, which is smaller, then this is a great thing to see. And as of December 31st, 2025, at the end of the year, they had $10 billion in cash, meaning that they could pay off that $7 billion in debt that they have quite easily. And one thing I want everybody to remember is that these companies are actual companies that actually exist in the real world. So you could go and look it up online and see their headquarters, which means there are people working in these companies, because I know people can't really separate the company from the stock sometimes, but we got to actually make that connection. So if we look at the operation efficiency, there's about 5,300 people working there, and per head count, this company is making about $1.8 million a head in revenue. But I got to tell you this so you can remember it. And I always tell you, proper preparation prevents poor performance. I had to say that again so you can understand the breakdown of the charts and the market. This is not a foundational play. If you build your portfolio out, you got to have a foundation, for example, VTI, and then that can be 60% of your portfolio. Individual stocks, this could be one of them, but this could also be in a swing trade kind of area. So individual stocks like your Microsofts, your Apples, your Nvidias, the big dogs in the game that have proven themselves time and time again over decades, that's 20% of your portfolio. The swing trades like this one can fit to max 10% of your portfolio, no more than that. And even 10% is pushing it. Cash and buying power at 5%, and then options at about another 5% max of your portfolio. So you can have a solid foundation with at least 80% of all of your money in long-term bangers, and then 10% of it you're trading with, and 5% is basically in cash, waiting for a dip. Family, if you're ready to change the game for yourself, then join KGU. The link is in the top of the description. I'll see you on the next one, and I'm looking forward to helping 10,000